After turning 80, the body goes through some surprising changes that many seniors never expect. And what's more shocking is that doctors warn these changes can quietly affect your health without obvious early signs. Think about it. You may feel fine on the outside, but deep inside, your body is shifting in ways that even the most experienced seniors don't always notice. These aren't the usual aches, gray hairs, or wrinkles that we all know. These are hidden changes, silent shifts that can influence your balance, your breathing, your energy, and even the way your brain and heart communicate with each other. The truth is, aging past 80 is like stepping into a new stage of life where the rules are different, and not everything works the way it used to. Doctors are now paying close attention to these subtle shifts because they can lead to sudden problems if ignored. But here's the good news. By understanding these changes early, you can prepare, adapt, and protect your independence for longer. In today's video, we're going to explore 5 surprising changes after 80 that most people don't talk about, but you deserve to know. Stay with me until the end, because the last one may completely change how you see aging. Number 1, hidden blood pressure swings. Most seniors already know that high blood pressure, or hypertension, is one of the most common health problems with age. Doctors usually warn about keeping blood pressure under control to prevent strokes or heart attacks. But what often goes unnoticed after the age of 80 is not just high blood pressure, but rather the sudden drops in blood pressure that can happen in a matter of seconds. This condition is known as orthostatic hypotension, and it occurs when blood pressure falls rapidly the moment you stand up from sitting or lying down. The blood that should flow to your brain suddenly doesn't get there fast enough. For a younger person, this might only cause mild dizziness for a few seconds, but for someone over 80, the impact can be far more serious. Doctors explain that as we age, our blood vessels become less flexible. The heart and nervous system also react more slowly to changes in position. That means when you stand up quickly, your body can't adjust fast enough to keep blood moving steadily to the brain. This delay creates that familiar, lightheaded feeling, but at 80 and beyond, that moment of weakness can easily turn into a dangerous fall. What makes this condition shocking is that many seniors don't realize it's happening. They might think dizziness is just part of aging, or they may ignore it altogether. But doctors warn that repeated blood pressure swings can cause tiny injuries to the brain over time, contributing to memory decline or an increased risk of stroke. Even more concerning is that these drops don't always show up during routine checkups. Blood pressure taken in a seated position may look perfectly normal, giving a false sense of security. Only when measured while standing up do the swings become visible. That's why doctors are urging seniors to check blood pressure not only while resting, but also immediately after standing. Imagine this scenario. You wake up in the morning, get out of bed quickly, and suddenly feel the room spinning. You reach for the wall or a chair, trying not to lose your balance. In many cases, this is orthostatic hypotension at work. It seems harmless, but repeated episodes like this dramatically raise the chance of falling, and at 80, a fall can change your entire quality of life. Researchers have also discovered that certain medications, especially those for high blood pressure, heart disease, or even depression, can make these swings worse. Seniors who take multiple prescriptions are at higher risk since the body becomes more sensitive to these shifts. That's why it's important for doctors to regularly review medication lists for anyone over 80. The surprising part is that prevention doesn't always require complicated treatments. Simple daily habits can make a huge difference. Standing up slowly instead of rushing, drinking enough water to maintain good circulation, and wearing compression stockings if recommended by a physician. These small steps help stabilize blood pressure and reduce dizziness. Doctors also recommend strengthening the leg muscles because stronger muscles help push blood back to the heart more effectively. Light exercises like chair yoga, gentle squats, or even regular walking can support circulation. In this way, lifestyle changes become just as important as medications in keeping blood pressure steady. So while high blood pressure is widely known as the silent killer, what many seniors don't realize is that low blood pressure swings can be just as dangerous after 80. The danger lies not only in the dizziness itself, but in what can follow: falls, brain fog, or long hospital stays. Recognizing this hidden change and taking proactive steps can mean the difference between living cautiously and living with confidence. Number 2, the shrinking lungs effect. Breathing is something we rarely think about. It just happens quietly every second of our lives. But after the age of 80, doctors warn that our lungs undergo changes so profound that many seniors are surprised when everyday activities suddenly feel exhausting. Walking across the living room, climbing a few stairs, or even having a long conversation can leave someone breathless in ways that never happened before. The main reason is a loss of lung elasticity. When we're younger, our lungs expand and contract like a flexible balloon. But as we age, the lung tissue stiffens, and the tiny air sacs, called alveoli, begin to lose their shape. This reduces the amount of oxygen that can be absorbed into the bloodstream with each breath. Over time, this subtle shift makes breathing shallower and less efficient. Doctors describe it as the shrinking lungs effect, and it doesn't just affect the lungs themselves. The chest wall becomes less flexible, the diaphragm weakens, and the muscles between the ribs lose strength. All of these changes together make it harder to take a deep breath. That's why seniors over 80 often feel like they can't catch their breath, even if they've never smoked a day in their life. One of the most surprising discoveries in recent years is that reduced lung function isn't just about shortness of breath. Researchers have found strong connections between poor lung health and cognitive decline. When the brain receives less oxygen consistently, it can affect memory, attention, and even mood. That means your lungs are quietly influencing your brain in ways most people never imagine. Another overlooked impact is on energy levels. Oxygen is the fuel that powers every cell in the body. When less oxygen reaches the muscles, fatigue sets in much faster. A simple walk to the kitchen can feel like a workout, and recovery after physical activity takes longer. Many seniors blame old age for tiredness, but in reality, their lungs are playing a bigger role than they think. Doctors now encourage seniors to see lung health as something that can be trained, much like the heart or muscles. Breathing exercises such as pursed lip breathing or diaphragmatic breathing help keep lung capacity stronger. Even something as enjoyable as singing regularly has been shown to expand lung volume and improve oxygen delivery. Surprisingly, seniors in community choirs often report better stamina than those who don't sing. A less discussed factor is posture. As the spine curves with age, the lungs have less room to expand. Seniors who spend long hours sitting or slouching compress their chest cavity, further limiting breathing. Simple daily stretches, gentle yoga, or even sitting upright with shoulders back can give the lungs more space to work effectively. Another key point is indoor air quality. After 80, lungs are more sensitive to dust, smoke, or chemical cleaners. Doctors advise keeping living spaces well ventilated, using air purifiers if needed, and avoiding harsh cleaning sprays. Even minor irritants that wouldn't bother a younger person can trigger shortness of breath or coughing in older adults. Nutrition also plays a role. Foods rich in antioxidants, like berries and leafy greens, can help protect lung tissue from further damage. Staying hydrated keeps mucus thin and airways clearer, making breathing easier. These small lifestyle changes might seem minor, but combined, they help preserve lung strength long into the 80s and beyond. The shrinking of the lungs is one of those hidden changes that can easily be mistaken for just getting older. But doctors emphasize that seniors don't have to accept declining breath as inevitable. With the right habits, awareness, and regular checkups, it's possible to keep oxygen flowing, energy high, and independence intact. After all, every deep breath is not just survival, it's the foundation of a vibrant life after 80. Number 3, the silent voice of the gut. When most people think about the gut, they imagine digestion, breaking down food, absorbing nutrients, and keeping bowel movements regular. But doctors now understand that the gut plays a much bigger role in overall health, especially after 80. What happens inside the gut doesn't stay there. It sends signals throughout the entire body, influencing everything from the immune system to the brain. The gut is home to trillions of bacteria, fungi, and other microorganisms, often called the gut microbiome. In a healthy state, these microbes help digest food, produce vitamins, and protect against harmful bacteria. But as we age, this delicate ecosystem changes. After 80, the gut loses diversity, meaning fewer types of good bacteria are present, and the balance shifts in ways that can harm health. Doctors warn that these changes in gut bacteria don't just affect digestion. Seniors often notice a loss of appetite, unexpected weight loss, or even trouble enjoying meals they once loved. Food may taste different, or meals may feel heavier than before. But behind these small changes, the gut microbiome is sending out silent distress signals. One of the most surprising discoveries in medical research is the connection between the gut and the brain, often called the gut-brain axis. After 80, if the gut bacteria become unbalanced, it can affect mood, memory, and clarity of thought. Seniors sometimes experience new feelings of depression, anxiety, or mental fog, without realizing that part of the cause may be in their digestive system. Doctors also highlight that gut health strongly influences immunity. Nearly 70% of the immune system is located in the gut. That means when the gut microbiome weakens, the body becomes more vulnerable to infections, slower wound healing, and chronic inflammation. Seniors who often feel run down or catch colds easily may be experiencing the silent voice of the gut at work. Constipation is another hidden sign. While it may seem like a simple digestive problem, frequent constipation after 80 often reflects deeper issues with gut balance. Poor gut movement slows everything down, which can trap toxins in the body and even affect mood. This is why doctors stress that maintaining regularity isn't just about comfort. It's a key part of protecting long-term health. The encouraging news is that supporting gut health doesn't require complex treatments. Simple dietary changes can make a powerful difference. Fermented foods like yogurt, kefir, sauerkraut, or miso introduce beneficial bacteria back into the gut. High-fiber foods such as oats, beans, and leafy greens provide nourishment for these bacteria, helping them thrive. Hydration is equally important. As the gut lining becomes thinner with age, water helps keep digestion smooth and prevents dryness in the intestines. Many seniors underestimate how much water they need, leading to sluggish digestion and more discomfort. Doctors now recommend setting reminders to drink, even if thirst isn't felt. Some doctors are also exploring probiotic supplements for seniors over 80. These carefully chosen strains of bacteria may help restore balance and improve digestion, immunity, and even mood. While not every probiotic works for every person, ongoing research shows promising results. For many older adults, a doctor-guided supplement can be a gentle yet powerful tool. The silent voice of the gut is one of the most overlooked changes after 80. It whispers through appetite loss, mood shifts, fatigue, or weaker immunity. By listening carefully and supporting gut health with food, hydration, and lifestyle changes, seniors can uncover a surprising source of strength. Because a healthy gut doesn't just help digestion, it helps preserve energy, joy, and mental clarity well into the later years of life. Number 4, vision loss beyond the eyes. When we think about vision problems in older age, the first words that come to mind are usually cataracts, glaucoma, or macular degeneration. These are well-known conditions that affect the eyes directly, but doctors warn that after 80, there is another layer to vision loss that doesn't come from the eyes themselves. It comes from the brain. This surprising change is often described as the slowing of visual processing. In simple terms, even if the eyes are healthy and receiving light properly, the brain takes longer to interpret what those eyes are seeing. This means images, movements, and details may not be processed as quickly as before, leading to delayed reactions in daily life. Imagine stepping off a curb and seeing a car in the distance. In younger years, your brain processes the speed and distance instantly, helping you judge when it's safe to cross. But after 80, this calculation can take longer, even if your eyesight looks perfectly fine during an eye exam. That split-second delay can be the difference between safety and danger. Doctors say this change is linked to both natural aging of the brain and reduced communication between the eyes and the visual cortex. It's not a disease, but rather a slowing of the brain's visual software. Unfortunately, most seniors don't notice it happening because it feels gradual and subtle. One clear sign is difficulty with balance, especially in crowded or unfamiliar places. The eyes might see uneven ground or moving people, but the brain struggles to organize the information quickly enough. This can create a sense of disorientation or dizziness. It's not the eyes failing, it's the processing speed behind the eyes. This hidden change also explains why driving can become riskier after 80, even with good vision scores. The eyes may see the stop sign, but the brain needs longer to send the signal to the hands and feet to react. Doctors warn that delayed reaction time is one of the most underestimated risks for older drivers, and it comes more from the brain than from the eyes. The positive news is that the brain, like a muscle, can stay sharp with the right training. Activities that challenge visual processing, such as puzzles, reading with attention, or even video games designed for seniors, have been shown to help maintain quicker responses. Doctors now encourage seniors to exercise the brain just as they would the body. Lighting also plays an important role. After 80, poor lighting can confuse the brain's interpretation of depth and distance. Keeping homes well lit, especially hallways and bathrooms at night, reduces strain and helps the brain process visual information more effectively. It's a simple but powerful way to lower accident risk. Doctors also recommend regular checkups that include not just the eyes but cognitive screenings. Seniors are often surprised to learn that blurred vision or slower reactions may be connected to brain processing rather than eye health. By catching these changes early, strategies can be put in place to adapt, from mobility training to adjusted living spaces. Vision loss beyond the eyes reminds us that aging doesn't just affect one organ at a time. It affects how systems work together. Seeing clearly is not just about sharp eyesight, it's about how fast the brain can make sense of what the eyes deliver. By staying aware of this hidden change, seniors can take steps to remain safe, confident, and independent, even as the brain's processing speed gently slows. Number 5, the hidden dehydration trap. When people think about dehydration, they often picture hot summer days, sweating, or forgetting to drink water during exercise. But for seniors over 80, dehydration takes on a very different form. Doctors warn that at this age, the body loses one of its most important survival tools, the natural ability to feel thirsty. The brain has a region called the hypothalamus that monitors fluid balance and triggers thirst. After 80, this signal weakens. That means many seniors simply don't get the normal, "I need a drink" feeling, even when their body's already running low on fluids. By the time thirst appears, dehydration is often well advanced. This hidden trap is dangerous because dehydration in older adults doesn't always look obvious. Instead of feeling extremely thirsty, seniors may feel sudden fatigue, confusion, or dizziness. Family members sometimes mistake these symptoms for dementia or a stroke. when in reality the person simply needs more fluids. Doctors also point out that body composition changes after 80. Seniors naturally have less water stored in their muscles and tissues than younger adults. This means dehydration can happen much faster and with fewer warning signs. A skipped glass of water here and there can quickly add up to a significant fluid loss. One of the most shocking risks of dehydration is its impact on hospitalizations. Studies show that many emergency visits among the elderly, including for urinary tract infections, kidney problems, or sudden confusion, are triggered or worsened by dehydration. What seems like a minor oversight can escalate into a serious medical crisis. Medications add another layer of complexity. Common prescriptions such as diuretics, blood pressure pills, or certain diabetes drugs increase fluid loss. Seniors taking multiple medications are at even higher risk, since their bodies are already more sensitive to small changes in hydration levels. The good news is that preventing dehydration doesn't require complicated solutions. Doctors recommend creating a hydration routine, drinking a glass of water with every meal, keeping a water bottle within reach, and setting gentle reminders throughout the day. For many seniors, consistency is more effective than waiting for thirst to appear. Fluids don't have to mean plain water. Broths, herbal teas, and water-rich fruits like melons, oranges, or cucumbers all contribute to hydration. Some seniors find it easier to sip warm liquids in cooler months or flavored water for variety. The key is regular intake, spread evenly throughout the day. Caregivers and family members also play an important role. Doctors encourage them to watch for early signs like dry lips, darker urine, or unusual tiredness. Gentle encouragement, rather than pressure, can make hydration feel like a natural part of daily life instead of a chore. The hidden dehydration trap reminds us that aging is not always about visible changes. Sometimes the most dangerous shifts are silent, like the loss of thirst. By staying proactive, building small daily habits, and understanding the body's new needs after 80, seniors can protect themselves from one of the simplest yet most overlooked health risks of aging. In many cases, a single glass of water can mean the difference between weakness and strength, confusion and clarity, hospital visits and independence. Growing older is not just about wrinkles or slower steps. It's about hidden changes that can catch us off guard. By knowing these 5 shocking changes and taking small preventive steps, you're already ahead in protecting your health. Remember, knowledge is the strongest tool we have to age with strength and dignity. If you found this helpful, share it with someone you love who's over 80. Stay safe, stay informed, and let's keep rising together. Thank you so much for staying with me until the end. If you found this video helpful, don't keep it to yourself. Share it with someone you love, because the gift of knowledge is one of the greatest gifts we can give. Take care, stay strong, and I'll see you in the next video.